Welcome back to Sports Dribble Podcast powered by Sports Rewind Digital. BJ and Davo with me again tonight, fellas. It is a scorcher, big 40 degrees up here in Newey today. How'd you guys go today in the heat?
Didn't leave the house. Nice air-conditioned house. Lucky to work from home today, so it's quite pleasant for us. I think it only got to 36 or 37 down here, so it wasn't
Balmy.
too bad. Yeah.
Half your luck, mate. I was the same, mate, working from home and no aircon. Didn't run the aircon today, but I had about 47 swims, so I was all good. In and out of the pool all day. Jump in, jump out, and go back to work. Didn't matter. Didn't have to get changed. I was dry in seconds.
Fantastic.
What about you, Hutto?
Mate, I was at the Schmelter today. It was a good 900 degrees there all day. It was beautiful. Yeah. Lost a few kilos, but I'm hydrating well tonight on the Hawkesbury's. So got to stay hydrated after a big day in the sun, that's for sure. All right, fellas, we've had another big week in sport. Plenty of MLB, bit of cricket, NBL. We've got some NBA signings from Australia happening. What else have we got? World Baseball Classic, NRL. How did I forget the NRL? Let's talk about Peter Bowl tonight. It's all happening here, but let's get started with our tidbits powered by Hawkesbury Brewing. I think I'm kicking us off tonight. I am. So last week we had a bit of a rule about no Brady or Nolan Ryan. That was last week. So lucky for me, I've got a bit of Brady in this one. Patrick Mahomes throws for 5,000 yards in every season until he is 40 years old. Only then will he break Tom Brady's passing yards record of 89,214 yards. Do you reckon Mahomes has got it in him to go to 40?
No.
Not in today's game. It's like most games. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. So it's a lot tougher on quarterbacks and their bodies. So it's a big ask.
I think his gameplay is a bit different too. He throws a lot from sidearm, down under, a little bit unconventional. We all know how that pays out in baseball ways if you throw from down there a lot.
The quarterback is starting to get more and more protected, though, I suppose, aren't they? You know?
Yeah.
Sport science, never know. I doubt it, but never know.
That's staying fit for a lot of years. So
it is.
And injury free, and anything can happen at any stage. So ACL, something, that's you're done. So
come on, mate, don't put that on him.
He runs a lot too, eh? He runs a lot. He
does.
He does get himself into contact. So
yep.
But you look at the older players in professional sports at the moment, i.e. Brady and LeBron James. They spend a lot of money on their fitness guys and girls. They get a lot of work done to keep fit. He'll have to do the same.
Yeah,
for sure. Well, next one, it's not so much a tidbit, but a bit of a funny. Brief delay this innings because the bat boy forgot Trey Turner's oven mitts. As part of the MLB's new rules to speed up the game, the bat boy was executed. I love that. I think we all posted that one in our little group chat there. I think we all seen that one. But anyway, Randall, have you got any of these oven mitts for base running, mate, in third grade this year?
No, mate. Don't need any of them.
No oven mitts? I thought you might have brought out the Schmelter gloves from the Finetto, mate, from all that cooking.
They're the batting gloves, champ.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
The bat's on fire, so bring out the old Schmelter gloves.
Yo, beauty.
Isn't that why you try and hit the ball over the fence so you don't need running gloves?
That's it.
Correct. Damo, correct.
Or you just chink one and let the bloke behind you hit one out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's got the Suzuki? Who's up for that one?
Under me. So Ichiro, the great hitter he was, had 126 hits in a 63-game span of 2004. So that works out an average of 2 hits per game for over 2 months. No one else has ever done that in baseball history. So you think of the hitters that have come before him, your Ted Williams, your Tony Gwynns, Ty Cobbs, Pete Rose, all of those, no one has had a streak like that for 126 hits in 63 games. That's quite the tear.
Yeah.
Imagine having him in your lineup.
You'd have him now still.
But what helped him was his speed, though.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of those were infield hits. So it just shows speed is a factor, that how many were just choppers that he's just slapped down and beat out to first.
Yeah. Yeah, probably a few.
Second one for us, Big Mac. Good old Big Mac. I think I might have touched on this where one season or a span of games he did more home runs than singles. But from 1994 to 2001, so a 7-year period, 354 home runs, 353 singles. Can't be too many guys around that have got that sort of stat where for 7 years you've hit more home runs than singles.
Crazy.
That's averaging 50 home runs a year.
Yeah.
Drugs or no drugs, we all know it was drugs, but still got to hit the ball.
Yeah.
And it was always good to watch.
For sure.
I did enjoy it.
Sure.
Randall.
Right. This little one that I found, what a gem this one is. Terrence Gore has more World Series rings than career postseason at-bats. He's only had 2 postseason at-bats, and he's got 3 World Series rings. What a G-up that is. I've actually gone back and had a little bit of a look at his stats. So 2014, 2015, he was with Kansas City Royals. Postseason, he actually didn't have an at-bat either of those years, even though they won a World Series in that time. 2021, he was with Atlanta. Yeah, so he was with the Braves when they won the World Series. He played 1 game, and that was in the NLDS. Didn't have any at-bats. And then 2022, he was with the Mets. So pretty crazy to look at when the only time he actually had those at-bats were in 2018 in the National League wildcard game playing for the Cubs.
It just shows he was one of those September buys for his speed. He was one of those guys, like a Billy Hamilton type, that was just put on the roster for a late innings pinch run.
Yeah, so in those games, he actually had 5 stolen bases and 1 caught stealing. So exactly as you say, that's what he was there for. And mind you, those 2 at-bats were both strikeouts.
Yeah. Maybe he got 3 rings.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a good set of those oven gloves, Randall.
He must have, mate, because, that 2014, 2015, both with the Kansas City Royals, they had a couple of good years there. But, it was crazy. He didn't even get a run in those games, really. So,
good on him.
It is good on him.
Probably got paid good coin too.
I bet he did, but who cares? He's got 3 rings.
That's it.
That's right. It's all about the ring.
What about this one, Randall? This is a gem too.
It is. I was pretty impressed with this. So MLB teams hitting under 240 batting average as a team. Going back to 1998, there was 0 out of the 30 teams. You move all the way through, 11 years until 2009, and you've still got 0. Not one team had a combined average of under 240. As we've progressed through the years, moving into 2018, 2019, 2020, when that shift's been employed, we've started to go 8, 4, 11, 12, and then in 2022, 14 out of 30 MLB teams hit under 240. What's that all about? Is it just the shift? Is it
maybe we'll find out this year.
Nothing.
Is it that trend like we've talked about plenty of times where
long ball?
Yeah, long ball or bust. We don't care if you strike out 3 times in a game. If you hit that 3-run home run in your 4th at bat, good on you. That's all we want.
I think a combination. combination of the shift going for bust. So scary.
So with the rule changes going away from the shift, what do you reckon? Will this change?
Hope so. Hopefully we see lots more base hitting. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
As a pitcher as well, you'd want to see people have base hits over home runs, obviously, but it changes the way the game's played, and they're going to get more running in. I know this spring training they have been running more. It's been awesome to see. Yeah. Pitch clock comes into that as well, and we'll talk about that. We might even talk about it now. Let's close out the Hawkesbury Bruin tidbits. And
I think it will go down a little bit, but not a lot, because you have, like baseball really has your haves and your have-nots. There's such a wide spectrum of the haves who play well to the have-nots, like the teams that are struggling that will still hit around that mark. Like you think, the Port Oakland A's, they've sold off everyone. They've got no budget. They've not got those guys that are going to be high average hitters because they've been sold off. So I think it might go down a bit, but I think you will still see between 10 and 14 this year, just because of the have-nots that are out there, the talent that's not spread.
Yeah, and you got to look at your Boston Red Sox, mate. Every time they get a good player, they get rid of him. They get a good trade. 5 or 6 whiz-bins for Xander Bogaerts. Here you go.
Pretty much. Like the photo you shared the other day.
Yeah.
Sorry, when did the Giants last win?
15, wasn't it? 2015?
Okay.
Was it 14?
Well, I won't mention the Orioles.
83.
83?
Oh,
Were you even born, Randall?
You're worse than a Parramatta supporter. At least Parramatta supporters have got 86.
It's not even the worst, mate. It's not even the worst in baseball, so don't worry. It's up there, but it's not the worst.
All right. Thanks to Hawkesbury Bruin for that. That's our tidbits for the week. Let's go straight into the baseball while we're talking about why it's hot. Now we talk about the shift. Let's talk about that one. Joey Gallo come up, and obviously the shift is banned. You got to have 2 either side of the infield, and then both feet start on the dirt when the pitcher's about to pitch. Randall, run us through what happened with Joey Gallo's at bat, mate.
Yeah, I think we all had a look at it. It was against Boston Red Sox, I believe. They fair enough. All their infielders were set, all legit, but they actually ran an outfield with technically only 2 outfielders. They had, I think it was the center fielder actually moved across and played into a shallow right field in the back of second base in that pocket there, and the left fielder moved across into center field. So they played without a left fielder. So theoretically, they've still complied with the rules of having 4 infielders, 2 on each side of second base, both feet starting on the dirt when the pitcher pitches. But sneaky little outfielder that pushed around into that gap. So it doesn't really help. They're already finding ways around the rules.
And how did that at-bat go?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah,
I didn't look that far into it.
No, we haven't looked that far. But as a hitter, wouldn't you just be looking to push the other way?
Yeah.
It's like if you've got no left fielder, but it comes back to that all or nothing swing that these guys now just do, that they're just conditioned to do that. Hope he does adjust, but great thinking. That's Alex Cora for you, though. He's just thinking outside the box, and spring training's the perfect time to try this stuff. That's why they have spring training.
They actually talked to him about it, Davo, too.
Yep.
And he goes, it's spring training. We got to try all these things.
Yeah.
And he's trying different things with runners, and that's a perfect way to do it. He's not interested in stats or anything in postseason. What he's looking at is different ways that he can implement these things in the season.
Yeah, because no one remembers what the stats were for spring training. No one remembers who had the best win-loss in spring training from last year. It is just getting ready for the season, and the managers doing whatever they can to make it best for their ball club for the next 162 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last 3 years they've had the shift in place where there's been no third baseman, no left fielder. Like, if they were going to hit the ball, slap the ball the other way, they'd already be doing it by now, and it wouldn't be an issue with the shift. So we know a lot of them can't do it. A few of those guys were trying to drop down bunts and stuff like that down at third baseline. Some of them come off for some of them, but most of them, like you say, they're just conditioned to get the bat head out in front, aren't they? Get the bat head out, get it over the fence. So to try and slap that ball the opposite field, they're struggling.
Yeah.
They're no
What about Scherzer and his little bit of a pitch clock? I wouldn't say manipulation because it's within the rules, but it's working his way around it, I guess.
I loved it. I
did too.
It's a pitcher coming up with ways to still put a hitter off, and that's their job.
I actually think, though, anyway, so those that didn't see it, it's Scherzer's basically coming to a set before the batter's coming into the stepping in. The batter's got till 8 seconds to step in, and he's come to a set ready to pitch, and as soon as they step in, he's throwing it in there.
Well, he did a long hold to start with. He did a long hold to start with, and then the batter called for his timeout, which they're allowed to do once. And that's when Scherzer sort of stepped off, stepped back on, came set, so that, as soon as he stepped back in, boom, he was ready to go. So it was that mind games by that long hold to start with that set it all up.
And then he went back to the long hold as well after that because he knew that he couldn't step out. And it was just a massive hold, like 14 seconds or something like that, and then throw. And then it was a whole different mind game. How's this? All right, so the batter steps out, calls time. How can he still be at set and then he steps back in and calls play? I thought when it's time, he's got to...
He did break. He did step off, and that's when the new pitch or the new clock starts for the batter to get back in there, and that's when he stepped back in, and I think it's 20 seconds. I think it's 20 seconds from the time you called time out to pitching again. So as soon as he's called time, 20 seconds start. So I think you saw Scherzer step off the back, break, then come back in, close up at about the 16-second mark. Yeah. And then he's finally stepped back in at around the 11 mark, and he's just gone, boom, he was ready for him. So
there's going to be a whole heap of them, and MLB did come out and say it was legal what he did, so there's going to be pictures all over the place taking advantage of this.
Didn't he get called for a balk?
I didn't say that.
I'm pretty sure when he was quick pitching that hitter, I think they called him I'm pretty sure you'll find they called him for a balk eventually, and they come out and they said that he can't just start pitching. He has to wait until the batter's set.
Yeah.
They did
I think
come
not
out
on the
with
little
something.
video that was shared round for the strikeout. Might have been a different pitch beforehand, but for the video that's doing the rounds, it was a swing through strike.
Yeah.
It might be a different one that I looked at, but there was one where it was like the quickest 3 pitches or something, and they ended up calling him for a balk and saying, no, you need to wait until the batter actually sets themselves and are ready to hit and looking up. So I think the umpire was actually telling him to stop and wait and holding him up from pitching because he was really quick pitching him.
Again, the joy of spring training. This is why you do these things.
Yeah.
And good on like Scherzer. He's the type of bloke. I think Verlander is probably going to be the same. It's going to be good to see how those two go back as teammates again this year. That the competitive side in them is trying to get an edge on the hitters and doing it now before the season even starts.
I think, did Verlander throw today?
He would have because Scherzer threw yesterday. And he got he got hit a bit. Did watch his first innings. There was a double, a single, and then a guy got thrown out at third for the last out of that inning.
Yeah,
So he got out. He got lucky. But yeah, spring training. They're only going to throw a couple of innings, but we're starting to see a bit of rotations now where you are getting these aces, I guess, throwing, which is good to see. Yeah, for sure. What else have you guys got from spring training? Anything exciting?
I saw Curtis Mead went deep twice yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Oh, nice. I didn't see.
Yeah, for the Rays. I think because they had the like the pipeline, so they had Jordan Walker. Is it Jordan Walker from the Cards? Someone else and Curtis Mead all hitting 2 bombs yesterday. So good sign for the Aussie.
Let's talk about Jordan Walker. He's going off. So I watched a bit of the Cards this morning. He didn't do his first at bat. I think he was struck out actually his first at bat. But he's played 21 at bats, 7 games. He's had 9 hits, 3 doubles, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, and he is leading the averages in spring training. Like we just said, averages don't mean a lot in spring training, but he is absolutely crushing. It's good to see.
He's the number 1 choice for Rookie of the Year already, I think, even before spring training started. So starting to live up to the hype.
One of the other prospects in the pipeline, Dominguez, he went all right today. I think he had a walk.
He got one out, I think. He hit a home run.
Martian, yeah.
RBI, he scored go-ahead in the 8th or the 9th. So that was good to see.
I did see Rodon got lit up a little bit there for the Yankees.
Okay.
I think he actually come out and just said to the media when they said, "Oh, what happened?" And he just went, "Oh, Atlanta just smashed me all over the place. They lit me up pretty much."
Yeah.
He said they just got all over me.
Yep.
Oh, well, they are probably a lineup that can do that though.
Not much you can do about that.
No. It happens.
Another one who's hitting the ball well, Francisco Lindor. I've watched a little bit of the Mets this year. I sort of watched them a bit last year as well. They were my pick last year to win it, and probably my choice to win it this year. But Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor have been absolutely crushing.
Yeah, Alonso's been going. He's been going deep a bit this spring, so could be the year of the polar bear.
I hope so. He's had 3 home runs in spring training already, so that's pretty good. Another one.
Sanga's been going all right for the Mets, actually. The Japanese pitcher they've got in.
Yeah, he threw today.
He threw well. He didn't throw too bad at all.
Yep, started off a bit scratchy. I think he threw
splitty.
2 walks to start with, but got himself out of the first innings. But
he'll fit in well there because there'll be no, even though it's New York, there won't be the pressure on him because they have Scherzer and Verlander in front. So they're the big guys. So he can just sort of slide on into that 3-hole there and just go about his business. And I think, he should do pretty well.
Yeah.
That's, as you say, that's splitty. That's nasty. If it's working that well in spring training, oof.
Another one, Brett Beatty. I know I talked about him last week. I've still been watching him. He's been playing a bit of third base for the Mets, and I think he's hitting 470 or something like that. Where is he? 471 average. He's crushing the ball and playing decent D. So he might get a bit of game time.
Who do they have at third? Who do they have at third if he's not there? Like, I don't think they signed anyone knowing he was coming.
Yeah.
So I think
I'm not sure they have anyone else, Davo. I haven't seen anyone else play third base. Not that I've watched all their games, but I haven't seen anyone else.
Yeah, I can't think of any names. So it's his spot to lose, really.
Yeah. That's good. So it'd be good to see some younger guys coming through and getting a run. How about Red Sox, Davo? Followed much of them?
Haven't, mate. As I say, it's like wasn't home much on the weekend, so I haven't caught up on many games. So can't actually tell you how they've been going, whether they've been good, bad, indifferent. So I just know you sent me photos.
They've played a lot of split team stuff. So
Split squads.
Yeah, split squad. So it's sort of hard to get a feel for it when you're playing a lot of split squad. I haven't been following much of the Giants this week because they've played a few split squad games, and it's just like can't get my head into it. There's not all your big names sort of playing all at once, and
and they're only in there for 1-2 at bats, and then they're out. So
yeah, that's it.
Let them do their work. I haven't heard of any injuries. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Knowing the Sox and guys like Chris Sale and all that. So the only thing I have seen was like Nathan Eovaldi pitching all right so far for Texas. So bastard couldn't do it last year for the Red Sox. So, but knowing him, he's due for an injury.
Yeah.
Come on, mate. Don't put that on him. Don't put that on him. Yeah. World Baseball Classic kicks off. I'm pretty pumped for that. We've got the Aussies in action on, let's have a look, that's Thursday, isn't it? Thursday the 9th. This is Australian Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. And then the Saturday, Sunday, Monday games. So Korea, China, Japan, and Czech. I really hope we come away with our first 2 wins and let's see what happens from there.
Good times to be watching it for us anyway.
It is. Wow. And obviously the other games are in different time zones. So I think like the American pool, they're normal American time. So because aren't they playing in Miami? I think. So
I think
4 different pools are all over the shop. Now, I think it was one of you blokes sent me this. I can't remember which one. How good's this? You reckon we'll break any of these records in the WBC?
Mate, you look at that American team, the DR team, Venezuela. If they don't, something's wrong.
I don't know if they will, though. You think, 7 RBIs in a game, possible.
Pretty massive.
10 strikeouts, I don't think so, because the pitchers, they won't be up to that stand. Maybe someone from Japan might, but anyone that's on a major league roster, I can't really see doing it because you're not going to be up to that sort of pitch count. So,
what about our Aussie blokes, mate? They've just come off a season.
Yeah. Can you see an Aussie guy with the potential for 10 strikeouts, though, against those lineups? Maybe against Korea or Czech or even China. But I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to talk about it next week.
4 extra base hits in a game. That's the one you'd love to see get broken.
Yeah, pretty solid, isn't it?
Probably only chance you got of the first one and the last one, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even the first one's going to be tough, but 7 RBIs in a game, you're playing, one of those teams that got in through that wild card type system against Dominican Republic or something like that. Who knows?
You might have someone do a Fernando Tatis, 2 grand slams in the 1 innings.
Yeah, well, if that happens too, that'd be good to see.
Pretty solid. Yeah, so the first game actually kicks off on the 7th of March, which is Cuba, Netherlands. And then the 8th of March, so the 8th of March, the Aussies kick off, but obviously the time zone difference. So on this website, it's all American time, so 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is, works out our Thursday. Oh, it'll be good to catch up on a bit of baseball there, that's for sure. Now, today we had a NBA signing from the Sydney Kings. Xavier Cooks has just signed a deal with the Washington Wizards. So he's going to go over there after the playoff game. So the Kings and New Zealand Breakers are one apiece. New Zealand beat Sydney at home, and then Sydney beat New Zealand in New Zealand. So it's 1-1. Comes back this weekend. They play Friday, Sunday, I believe. And then if it's needed a game 5, they play that one Wednesday. So good to see another Aussie make it to the big time over there and gets to play out the rest of the season with the Wizards. Now, the Wizards, I think they're sitting in 10th position at the moment, which I don't know how still grants them a playoff spot. So must
It's
be
NBA.
like
You don't care.
it's
game time.
Yeah, everyone wins a prize. I'm not a huge on the NBA, so I don't know how that works out. But anyway, good luck to him. Let's do some cricket news, Davo.
Yeah, so a little bit of cricket on at the moment. They're sort of in between tests. We actually won a test over there. It was nice to see. Yeah, it was nice to see them play aggressively. So we required 77, I think, or something around that in the second innings, which we thought, that could be dicey. But it said a lot about the pitch when it was the start of day 3, start of a fourth innings, and they've started with spin from both ends. And it was good to see the ICC has rated the pitch poor after it. So it was a shocking wicket, but a great win by Australia. I think Steve Smith as captain made the difference. That catch he took at leg slip was just one of the greats, but just his exploitation of the rules. Instead of using referrals, getting Carey to try and stump the guy. So when that happens, when they go to the third umpire, they check for the stumping, but then they also check for a caught behind. So he's having extra things checked without using up your appeals. So they're now talking about changing that rule because Smith exploited it. So it was good to see, but Australia showed some guts. That now puts us in the top spot for the World Test Challenge. So we're now in that. So it looks like we'll be playing India in June, I think, over in England for it. So fourth test starts on Thursday. So hopefully, we don't know the makeup of the team yet, whether Cummins will be back or not. I'd say because we won, he may not come back. It's just sad news. He's come home to look after his mum, who's in palliative care and not doing well. So you can totally understand family first, but hopefully we can now ride on that and even up the series. Even though we've lost a trophy, it'd be nice to get the second win up.
Yeah, for sure.
And the Women's Indian Premier League started last night. So that was good to see. So they've just finished their World Cup and now they're over there earning their big money. I don't know a lot of the names of the teams, but the game I saw last night had Meg Lanning going off again. She scored a 50 for her team's win. It was against Megan Shute and Elise Perry. So I'm sure there would have been some friendly sledging in that game. But
mate, no banner for sure.
No. So there's more games going. It's only like a 3-week tournament, but a good crowd there. So hopefully it does well because it's a big thing for women's cricket.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of money getting thrown around. So, yeah, hopefully it does real well for them.
Oh, it's got to be a positive because even someone like my daughter who's 12, she found out the sort of money they were making and she said, I love cricket, but hearing that, I want to try even harder now.
Yeah.
And if that's coming from her, it's going to be coming from a lot of other girls as well, a lot of any age. So it can only be a positive to get them more playing cricket to try and make it a living, really.
Yeah. I think Randall's identifying as a 17-year-old woman next week.
I still couldn't make
So
a
he
team,
can come
mate.
and play cricket.
I wouldn't be able to make a team
I was
still.
about to say, but no one wants him in the team.
Oh, every team needs a mascot.
That's right.
That's it,
Bringing
mate.
in the dirty water.
Yeah, development of motivation. Coach,
But,
that's it.
I don't know if we've shown it before. I probably should have brought it up as a tidbit, but Sydney Thunder now have lost their record for the lowest score in a T20 match. The Isle of Man were bowled out for 10.
Yep.
So it's like, yep, the good old Thunder, they're now out of the record books. It's
Come
They
on,
need to
Thunder.
stick to their. They need to stick to their motorbikes.
Yeah.
The Isle of Man.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
So there's a nice little cricket tidbit at the end. I only remembered it today. Someone resent it to me, and it's like, oh, damn, I should have thrown that in as one of my tidbits, but I got it in anyway.
Could have saved it for next week, Davo.
Yeah, I'd forget about it by then.
Yeah.
Old timers.
Like today. Where's your tidbits, fellas? Dave had already posted it probably 3 times this week. I still got it up there, Davo. So,
yeah.
What about? Yeah, we'll blame the heat. Nothing to do with old timers either. What about the NRL, fellas? It was back this week. I did see the end of those the mighty Dolphins.
Oh.
Okay. How about those Rooter supporters? Where are they?
I told one of the guys at cricket yesterday, they were talking about the footy. And I said, they're talking about the prices of teams. I said, I'd get on the Dolphins at $6.50. In a 2-horse race, you're better off putting $5 on them for the chance rather than the $1.12 Roosters. And they just laughed at me. And then towards the end of the game, I said, hey, how are you blokes looking now? Mind you, I hadn't put the money on. I didn't have any money in my account. But anyway, yeah. The master, Wayne Bennett. A couple of forward passes, but anyway, the results there.
I only caught the last 20 minutes. It was fantastic to see.
You got to get one win for the year, mate.
Yeah, that's it. They're playing at home, though, this week, aren't they? Pretty sure they're playing at home this week, so...
Yeah, they are.
For them. Don't even know where home...
Redcliffe.
Yeah, Redcliffe.
KO Stadium, Redcliffe.
Apparently they made a new stadium for them, or is it just one that was already there? Or what's the
one that's already there?
Capacity?
Not sure of capacity, but if you're a member of the club that's next door, apparently there's a big balcony that you can go out to the club and it overlooks the field. So
my type of club.
How good's that? How good's that? So what happened in the NRL this week? Breen. Yeah, that was brilliant, Graham.
Mate, we could probably just skip over the rugby league this week.
Oh, did the Knights didn't go well, Randall?
Not at all, mate. Mate. Parramatta versus Melbourne Storm. Parramatta got done in Golden Point, 16-12. I don't know if any of you guys... It was good to see a try.
It was good to see a try decided the game.
Wasn't a field goal or anything like that. It was a try. So that was good to see. It was a good game, Nice and close game all the way through. Parramatta ran out of puff, though. They just didn't have enough to match it. The Warriors and the Knights. The Warriors got up 20-12.
Yeah, beauty.
My poor old Knights just basically picked up from where they left off last year. Still can't tackle. Still can't attack. Still are going to be at the bottom of the ladder. But is what it is. The Broncos, Penrith, upset.
Yeah.
Big upset. Broncos getting up 13-12.
Didn't have that.
No, me either. Don't worry, I didn't have a lot of them this week. But yeah, that was a little upset. But Brisbane played really well. Brisbane was strong. They're going to have a good season, I'd say.
I was going to say they might surprise a few people again this year. They didn't play too bad last year, and if they step up a little bit, so it's a good start.
Yeah, definitely. Then we move on to Davo, your dirty dogs. They got a hiding. 31.
I always knew that was going to happen. Yeah.
From Manly.
Mate. Yeah, I backed Manly in the footy tipping, so it shows I'm a loyal Bulldog supporter, but when it comes to money, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, mate. Don't worry. But yeah, mate,
We're not beating Manly at Brookie.
The Dogs had nothing. I
Mm.
think two sets in a row, the Bulldogs kicked out on the full, and one of them they didn't even go to a half. They went to bloody Viliame kick out to kick on the last tackle, and he put it out on the full as well. So yeah, it wasn't real good from a team that should be doing a lot better, I think, than 31-6 loss.
Yeah,
I think 12th will be our spot this year.
Yeah, maybe honestly, with the roster you got, you probably should be trying for the 8. They should be competing for the 8.
I know we should, but we're on the same points as the Knights.
Yeah.
And the Tigers.
Cowboys got up over the Raiders 19-18 in another really good game. I think the Cowboys were up about 16 or 18 nil or something. 18-6.
Yeah, they were doing it pretty easy, and the Knights, the Raiders came back.
Yeah, they almost ran them down. So that was an interesting result. Sharks and the Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs were too good. 27-18. They looked the real deal as well, I think.
Yeah, I was dumb enough to back the Sharks, thinking they had a pretty good pre-season at home, but Rabbits too strong.
I think Nico Hines would have made a big difference to Cronulla. Then the game we talked about, those bloody Dolphins, eh? Fins up.
Bloody flipper.
Yeah, fins up. They're coming in hot. 28-18 over the Roosters. So it was good. I love seeing the Roosters get beat. So
especially with their salary cap.
Yeah, well, that's it.
That's another story.
That's another story. That's the old sombrero. And then Hutto, mate. Your poor old fucking lackluster Tigers.
Brutal.
Done by the Titans at 22-10.
Back the Tigers too.
Would not have beaten the bye, those blokes.
Well, fortunately, St. George did beat the bye.
Yeah. 2 points.
They did. And then this week, I tell you what, I don't know what you're doing Sunday, Hutto. We'll be at V8s, I think, actually, or you'll be at the V8s. But
V8s, mate, yeah.
Tigers versus the Knights.
Oh.
So there'll be some text messages flying around. At least the Knights will get a win here. But
where at?
Leichhardt.
Oh, mate, if you can't win at Leichhardt, well, it could be us. Could be Campbelltown. I think Campbelltown's often a bit better ground for you guys than Leichhardt.
I hope they put 50 on you, Randall.
Oh, come on, mate. Don't be like that. I think the big game is the Thursday night. Panthers versus the Rabbitohs. That's going to be a cracker, I reckon.
Yeah.
There are a few good games, actually. 6 p.m. Friday, you got Parramatta versus Cronulla. They're both going to be looking to bounce back. Hopefully, Nico Hines is back. I'm not sure if he is or not for Cronulla, but I tell you what, that's going to be a banger of a game. And then you move on to the 8 o'clock game, Broncos versus the Cowboys. 2 first-up winners. So that'll be another good game. Roosters Warriors, that should be a bit of a blowout to the Roosters if they'll be looking for redemption. Dolphins Raiders, probably a toss of a coin.
Yeah.
Who knows where we're going to go with that one? Storm and your poor old dirty dogs, Davo. I'm sorry,
Storm.
but yeah, I don't think you're going to get one up there.
0-2.
0-2. Yep, you'll be with the Knights, mate. And then the Dragons and the Titans. Haven't seen the Dragons yet. They had the bye round 1. And Titans were okay against, the Tigers who weren't great. So who knows? Old Manly, they just put a belter out last weekend against the Dogs and now they get the bye. So, 1 weekend, get a rest.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And how's the form of did you see the little argument between the two, what's his name, Leo?
Jerome Luai.
Panthers. Yeah, Panthers boys. But I think that's just more frustration than anything.
Yeah,
so
mate.
I don't think you'd read too much into it, but it just shows a bit of passion there. It's a lot like, hang on, we're better than this. This is what we should be doing. So,
good.
Yeah, you say don't say you're too tired to make the pass, mate. It's too tired to make the pass. Get better.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what he's saying.
It's first grade. We're defending premiers.
Yeah, you've got to be better than that.
This is the standard we set. Yeah. Good on him for calling him out.
I don't think there's any issue in it. It's just, competitive blokes making sure that they're picking their teammates up and driving them. They're pushing them for them to be better.
Yeah. And he's come out and said, it's like, I've got nothing to apologise for. I think more guys need to have the courage to make comments like that.
Yeah.
And it's a fair call.
How often do you see it now? The bloke drops the ball and everyone comes over and pats him on the back, pats him on the head. It's okay, mate. It's okay. No, it's not.
No.
You're getting paid your $500K a year or whatever, or to catch that.
Surely
your job is to catch the ball, and your job is to catch the ball and hit it up.
Yep.
Sure, everybody drops it, whatever, but doesn't mean you come over and pat them on the back and don't worry, it's okay. Pick it up, mate.
Come on, pick that shit up.
Yeah, that's it.
What a shit teammate you are, Randall.
Can't
wait for you to drop one at right field so I can go and give it to you.
Mate, got to get to it first.
If it doesn't hit your glove, it's a base hit. It's not an error.
100%, mate. Especially when your mum's the scorer.
Yeah, beauty. What else is happening in sport this week, fellas? We're ahead of the V8s this week. Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Newcastle. Most of Newcastle's blowing up about what the V8s are doing in town. I absolutely love it. Obviously, I don't live right in town either, so I don't have fences and everything around my house, but what a spectacle it will be. One of the tightest street circuits and right near the ocean. So heading in Friday.
With the new cars, I know we had the Mustangs last year, but with the Camaros now instead of the Commodores, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens and see the battles, see how competitive they are and who holds the edge. So I know you're going to have your traditionalists who want the Falcon versus Commodore, but it's still, in a way, it's Holden versus Ford.
Yeah.
So, bring it on.
Can't wait to watch him go up Watt Street, roaring up there in between the buildings. Yeah.
It should be good. It should be good. It's round one. It's not round 25 or whatever, where everyone's got their whole season's worth of driving in, and they're all, they're all honed in, new cars, all that sort of stuff. Oh, there's going to be some mayhem.
Tight circuit. Yeah.
There's going to be carnage
circuit
for sure.
Yep.
I'm really looking forward to Friday. I think you're going Saturday, aren't you, Randall? I'm really looking forward to Friday because it's the first sort of time on the track in the new cars with the practice and then qualifying. So should be good.
I don't think any rain's forecast. Well, I think there might be a bit of rain Sunday at this stage.
I think it's all cleared up now, and it's looking like it's going to be hot.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
We'll have to stay hydrated, BJ. Mate, I had a look at the map.
Dirty waters, mate. Plenty of dirty waters.
There's plenty of little stops around the track. So, we might go to a few different corners and if you have a good look at the map, there are a few little hot spots there.
There are, mate. Other past years that I've been, and it's good. It is really good.
So, anyway, righto, fellas. If there's nothing else you guys want to bring up, let's leave it there and we'll get out of here. We're a day early this week. We're on a Monday night. So you guys will get this some stage Tuesday. Being a Monday night, I don't have to go and run it all through tonight. So, your beauty. Be able to go and get some rest.
Back in the pool.
Mate, I've left the pool. I'm not like you blokes, so, we're not all electricians, Randall.
Man. Is what it is.
I must say the pool was refreshing after tea sort of thing. Swim after tea.
Yeah. We went out to mother-in-law's for a swim. It was beautiful. Beautiful. All right, fellas. Have a good week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good.